We're just going to save all this audio. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Ashley showed the fuck up on this one.
Yes.
We did it. Okay, don't change anything and don't stop recording.
Okay.
Welcome back to Crime in the Coconut. This is the third fucking time I've said that. We're really trying for you guys, okay? We're trying to get it figured out with this audio stuff.
A lot of sound. These sound waves look amazing.
Wow, this is the best they've ever looked.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
I'm Amanda.
If you want to do that one more time, we're going to clink our, probably now, mine's empty. Little bottles. I got a drop in there I can drink.
All
right, you've missed a lot. I've burped into the mic. I started talking about witchy shit. I came out of the broom closet on air. And we're going to talk now about a little gift I made Amanda.
Yes.
Because she needs some protection, yo. She's on that spiritual journey.
It was very nice. She came over. She's got this little, spell jar she gave me in a little box with some recipe notes of, what... She gave me amethyst and a protection rune. It was so sweet. It was so amazing.
And it smells really good, too.
Yeah, it smells super good.
It smells good. We got a rosemary sage smudge stick.
I love it.
We've got a little baggie filled with bay leaves and cedar. Not cedar woods, just cedar. Grows outside my apartment. I cut that shit up like crazy.
So nice.
Fun fact, white sage is a closed practice. Don't use white sage on anything. Use cedar instead.
Wait, what?
So it's kind of a controversial topic. Some people tell you it's not closed practice. But basically, one, white sage is endangered. There are other forms of sage that you can use, but white sage specifically is endangered. And two, it is used by Native Americans. And so it's considered part of the indigenous people's practice.
It's like cultural appropriation.
Exactly. And some Native Americans will tell you they're okay with you using it if you buy it from them, because then you're supporting them. Mm-hmm. Or if it's gifted to you by a Native American, then they're okay with you using it. But just try to avoid it if you can. There are so many other things you can smudge with, like rosemary, which is what I gave Amanda. I smudge with cedar a lot of the times. Avoid Palo Santo, too. That's also a closed practice.
I don't know what any of these words are.
Basically, I smudge with incense sticks a lot, too, like the frankincense one that I gave you. I smudge with frankincense a lot as well. So.
I like those.
Anyway, that's your little witchy schooling.
Speaking of witchy stuff, this was not planned at all. Mm-hmm. I actually referenced witchcraft in this story.
Hey.
And I knew when I was writing it, I was like, Ashley's going to love it.
Is this who put Bella in the Wych Elm?
No!
I don't know the story. Oh
my god.
No.
I thought you did the same story.
No, I didn't. No. I've just seen it, on titles of episodes before. I've never heard the story.
Damn it. I was really hoping that I was going to, because I didn't title it Bella in the Wych Elm. I was hoping that it was going to be, a surprise. But at the same time, I was like, I'm going to kill myself if Ashley came with the same story.
No, it's completely different. You're fine. I know nothing about this. I just know it's, one of those cool mystery things. That's it.
Okay.
Yay, I'm so excited. This is so
too.
good.
Let me figure out how to zoom
Ashley
in.
comes out of the broom closet, and she's doing a witch story, kind of. Except I don't think it's actually a witch story. We'll find out.
I don't know.
Wet that palette.
Crack my back.
Oh, I hope the mic caught that. There we go. Let me crack mine. Hold on. Nope. Alright. Can I crack my fingers? With my thumbs. It's about as good as it gets. What the fuck? I hope you guys really like this episode.
Bone cracking ASMR.
You're welcome. To my boyfriend's mom who listens to this. I really hope that that's why you listen to this and not for the actual content.
So, during the ending months of the summer in 1943, 4 boys near the age of 15 ventured into the woods and stumbled upon a woman's body stuffed into a hollow tree.
We're getting right into it.
Yeah. This was the height of World War II, so food was, extremely scarce. Mm-hmm. Which, I don't know. I feel like my school system really failed me in teaching me, how
horrible everything was during World War II.
Honestly, any part of horrible history is just glossed over.
That's true.
So
it wasn't that bad, and then America made it better at the end.
Right. Yeah, basically. So, it was very normal for young men to go out in search of something they could eat, and birds' eggs were an easy enough target. They just had to look up into the trees and find nests. Also, are there still leaves on the trees in September?
I think sometimes maybe.
Because, like, when I imagined this initially, I was, like, thinking of this super dreary, gloomy, no-leaf,
like
bare
barren
trees.
Some of them could be, though, depending on, like, what time.
Well, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's September, so it was, like, probably really nice weather.
Yeah. It could be
like,
a little chilly towards the end of September.
Yeah.
A little desolate.
But, I mean, if the leaves are still on the tree, it's going to be kind of hard to find nests.
Where was this in the world?
Yo-yo.
And what country is that?
I had it. It was, I forgot to write it.
Fuck, let's Google it.
I know it. I know what it is. It's fucking...
It's here somewhere.
It's in Hagley, Worcestershire, England.
Okay, so there probably wasn't very many leaves, and it was probably pretty fucking, like, wet and dreary.
Yeah, okay.
So you imagined right.
Okay. God, this is chaotic.
This is the best episode we've ever made.
Anyways, so they came across a wide-set tree that pretty often has twisty trunks, called a wych elm, spelled W-Y-C-H. And it was pretty hollow on the inside, and they took a look in to find some, whatever, food, I guess, and they find a woman's body stuffed in there. Mm. They were freaked out, understandably, so they waited a day before one of the little boys squealed like a pig to his parents about it.
What a way to phrase that.
They had, like, said that they weren't going to talk about it ever again.
They were like, nope, nobody say shit.
Yeah, which, whatever, but I'm sure one kid was like,
I'm having nightmares, Mom!
Yeah. Which is good, because the police went to
the police?
The parents went to the police. Fuck. God, okay. So the parents go to the police, and they uncover a woman dated to have been dead in the tree for about 18 months, except she didn't have her left hand.
Oh.
She had some irregularities in her jaw, so the police were, like, fairly confident that they would be able to identify her.
Yeah. But
a nationwide sweep of dental history, nothing turned up. Missing people were also extremely common during this time. I wonder why. Fuck you, Hitler, by the way. So facial recognition was practically useless with the technology they had during that time. So they really didn't know who she was.
Poor girl.
A piece of fabric was found in her teeth that showed... Well, one article said it was found in her teeth. Another one said that, like, literally it's just a giant cloth found in her mouth.
Like, stuffed in her mouth?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, they believe that she may have been gagged and died of asphyxiation or suffocation.
Okay. Keep her from screaming while she was in the tree. Maybe.
Well, her body coincidentally, her body had to have been fairly fresh because it was deduced that her body would not have been able to be wedged into the tree once rigor mortis set in.
Okay.
So, I feel like she died before they put her in the tree.
But, like, right before they put her in.
I don't know.
So she was, like, kind of squishy still.
Maybe. She was definitely squishy. So, Professor Margaret Murray, an anthropologist, an archaeologist, among many other things, this woman was, like, ridiculous. Super smart. We
love female idols.
Studied all kinds of stuff. She was also a professor at the University College London, and she claimed that this woman's skull bore all of the signs of black magic execution. The hand of glory, which derives from the French word mandrake, which is to say that the hand of an executed person, typically a male, but the hand of an executed person is a useful tool in witchcraft and has many benefits, but one of the major ones in particular is that it's used to unlock any door.
And it's very fascinating they did the left hand because left in Latin is the word sinister.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't know all that stuff, and jumping into witchcraft right now while I was studying this would have been like a whole other 4-page thing.
Oh, yeah. We'll just do episodes on witchcraft.
So I can't say for sure how true that is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's also said that a dead body encased in a tree would be unable to come back and haunt the people who murdered them.
Oh, that's good to know.
So she was like, there's a lot of like coincidences here.
Right.
Whatever. The first graffiti that followed this mystery murder happened the following year. The Witchbury Obelisk, which is a monumental stone pillar that stands alone on top of this hill in Hagley, Worcestershire. Mm-hmm. Someone spray painted on it in bold white letters, "Who put Bella in the Wych Elm?" Spelled wrong, W-I-T-C-H instead of W-Y-C-H.
Feeding into the witchcraft theory.
Yeah. It's still, I guess it's a little more sinister that way, but it's still really creepy.
Yeah.
And periodically it'll get tagged from time to time with the same words. Wow. So it's like...
Somebody's keeping it up even after
all these years. It's still like an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, if... This makes me understand why people, like, in early America, like settler times, went like fucking crazy and killed people for witchcraft.
Yeah.
Is because, okay, on one end, you're like struggling to survive and you're like looking for bird, like literally robbing eggs to eat to survive. And then someone's like, who put Bella in the Wych Elm?
And you're like, what the fuck is witches?
Right. Like, I don't have time to worry about this shit.
Yeah.
There was one letter sent to local police, but it was determined to be nothing, so the name Bella was deemed to be nothing more than like a Jane Doe type of name. There were tons of theories surrounding this, but one I found super interesting was in 1953. Well, I wouldn't say super interesting, because I ended up finding an even more interesting one.
But it's worth noting.
In 1953, this is like maybe 10 years later, a woman said that her ex-husband Jack and a friend of his put a woman in the tree, so this Jack guy kept confessing to it. I didn't know what year this Jack guy confessed.
Right.
Like, when he said he did it. But this is 10 years later, and Jack was dead by then, so I really don't... The timelines don't really, like, line up accurately.
Right.
Jack and his friend and a woman whose name was, I don't know, it was, like, Belladonna or something. I don't know.
Good name.
They went out for drinks, and the woman became drunk and fell asleep while they were driving. So, to, like, punish her as a joke, Jack and his friend put the woman in a tree, thinking it'd be funny for her to wake up the next day and, like, feel bad
and then
for, like...
she fucking died.
Well, I don't know if she died. I don't think they ever, like, went to go check on her again. Because Jack was later confined to a mental hospital because he had reoccurring dreams of a woman jumping out of a tree to get him. He died before her body was found.
Wow. Okay.
So the timelines are kind of weird, and, like, I tried looking up this many times to, like, try to see when Jack and his friend had done this compared to when this woman actually died.
As I said, she was in there for about 18 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I really don't know, and it is a possibility, but...
If somebody came out and said, we have proof that this is true, it would be easy to believe it. But without evidence, it's like, maybe.
Another good theory comes from an MI5 declassified file about Josef Jacobs, who was the last man to be put to death in the Tower of London in 1941. Fun fact, the Tower of London took 22 years to build and was completed in 1100.
Yeah, I've been to the Tower of London. That shit's wild.
So 841 years later, you're the last person to be executed in the castle? Sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, that's like the coolest thing ever.
That is awesome. If they were like, hey, if you could be executed, how would you want to go? I want to
Tower
go,
of London.
Yes.
Take me there.
The last person.
Yeah. No one else after me, or I want my money back.
Yes. So I thought that was, like, really interesting. I learned a lot of stuff, like, doing this article. So Josef Jacobs was a part of a German intelligence espionage group, parachuted into Cambridgeshire in 1941, but broke his fucking ankle upon landing.
God damn it, Achilles' heel.
And was arrested by the Home Guard. Upon capture, the guard discovered a photo of his lover, a German cabaret singer and actress, Clara Burgle, I don't know. There is nothing of her existence, like, after 41, so any, like...
Timeline kind of matches up.
Any, like, art, like, films, songs, like, footage of her, nothing after 41.
Okay.
Jakob claimed she was also a spy and was determined to have landed where the Wych Elm's shenanigans took place.
Shenanigans.
But there's a log of Clara dying in Berlin hospital, in a Berlin hospital in 1942.
Oh, okay. Well.
But at the same time, I've seen a lot of, like, true crime stories about unidentified persons who were possibly spies.
Yeah.
You can fake a log like that.
Yeah, that's not the most unbelievable thing for that to just be written in by somebody.
Right. So I think that this is also, like, a pretty
This
possible...
is a good theory.
And her name was, like, Clara. It was, Clara Bella, I think, was her full name.
Oh,
so it's like somebody knew, like, Bella part. That's just a coincidence, I think.
Yeah.
This is gonna turn into a whole conversation.
I'm ready.
And I was ready for it.
I'm ready.
So, final theory is that this was possibly a prostitute or not someone who was going to be particularly missed, which is a topic we come across.
Oh, what the fuck do we call them?
All
the less dead.
Yes, all the time. There were reports of the European Roma, or gypsies, living near Hagley Woods in 1941, and it's suspected that she could have been a part of that group. Either someone in that group killed her and stuffed her in there, or, you know, white people suck. So,
like... That's it. White people suck. That's what happened.
Maybe did that to her, and then the group left.
Mm-hmm.
Another fun fact I learned, which it disgusts me how much our history is whitewashed, and, like, how much I didn't know. So the European Roma are Indo-Aryan people who were also victims of genocide during World War II.
Which is why you shouldn't say gypsy life.
Yeah,
okay?
Gypsy is, like, not... It's definitely...
It's not a lifestyle.
No, it's definitely borderline
derogatory term.
Yes, that is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And this was, like, known as the quote-unquote forgotten Holocaust.
Wow.
And German judges hearing restitution claims were advised by the Württemberg ministry to claim that gypsies were persecuted under the National Socialist regime, aka Nazis, for no racial reason but because of antisocial and criminal record. And I didn't know anything about this.
I didn't know that there was a genocide, but I did know that gypsies were wrongfully persecuted and that it's really fucking rude for white girls to go to Coachella and say they're a gypsy.
And I also, like, when I looked this up, I'm going to say, like, before, when I was learning about the Holocaust initially, I was like, it's kind of strange, because Jewish people, I know they have, like, their distinguishing features that make them Jewish, but typically, when I think of a Jewish person, I think of white. Like, they're white. Yeah. So I thought it was really weird that, like, white people were, you know...
persecuted?
Yeah. But at the same time, like, there's no way that, like, there weren't other people in Europe who weren't white that weren't also dealing with the same thing.
Exactly.
But I never learned about it, so I was like, that's kind of weird. Maybe it was just Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't. And when I learned about, like, gypsies, I looked it up and I'm like, okay, what's the European Roma? And I looked at pictures and they're very Indian-looking people.
Yeah.
Like, brown skin and...
I think the preferred term for them is the Romani people, but I don't know that for sure.
Well, the European Roma or Romani, like, go hand in hand.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also, like, was learning, like, Romani is sometimes, like, mistaken for Roman or Romanian, which isn't the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
I'm like, I was about to finish
this. This is totally crazy.
I was about to finish this article and I was like, oh my god, like, there's so much I didn't know. And also... this very well could have been one of those things, like, and maybe that's why she was never identified, is because nobody cared. Enough.
They're like, oh, we kind of know what kind of a woman this is. Right. Not interested.
Well, but they didn't say that outright, and I'm sure, like, during this depressing time, it was almost like entertainment to wonder who it was.
Yeah.
And rather than wondering if it was a brown person, it was more fun to wonder if it was a white person subconsciously. So they were
because
like,
that would have been a bigger tragedy.
It was a German spy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
This thing, like, pissed me off. And I, like, wondered, too. I'm like, you know, if people compare, not to bring up politics, but if people compare our most recent president to how Hitler came to power, I'm like, reading through this article made me think about, like, how easily it was that Germany, like, got to where they were. Because
it was literally all through propaganda. Like, it was just...
If I said, okay, the Nationalist Socialist regime doesn't sound nearly as bad as Nazi.
Huh.
And they didn't go by Nazi.
Hold on. I'm like, I gotta take a deep breath here with this one. That's a lot. Let me just say, first of all, it doesn't matter who it was. It sucks that she didn't just climb it into the tree. Whoever she was put there. Mm-hmm. And that sucks. That's terrible, and there should have been more attention paid to it. But if it was a brown person or an indigenous person, you know, a gypsy, and that's why it was never figured out, that's disgusting. Really fucking disgusting.
I really like this story because the initial, like, who put Bella in the Wych Elm is so, like, you know, when you get in that mood to watch, like, ghost videos.
Spooky stuff,
or,
yeah.
Like, yeah. Or,
stuff that'll mess with your psyche.
Right, or, like, when you watch The Witch, or you're like, I want to see something that, like, makes me wonder, what if that ever actually happened?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, like, the romanticized version of this story,
yeah.
and that's why I picked it.
And this is, like, the real-life version of that.
Yeah, and then I got to the end, and I was like, oh my god, she probably wasn't even a spy. She was probably some poor girl that...
got taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Tayla's old as fucking time. The
Right.
girl that got taken advantage of.
Right. Or if it was Clarabella and she was a spy, one theory was that she was killed because she knew too much, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you really think if it was a more political type version of murder, that they would have cut off her left hand and put her in a tree?
Exactly.
No, they would have tied cinder blocks to her legs and threw her in the ocean or something. Or
put her in a pig pen, because pigs will just eat her from
like
top to bottom.
Or like sat there and tortured her, like, but she had no, nothing on her skeleton showed like blunt force trauma.
Did they look at did they determine whether or not her hand had been pulled off by animals, or if it was like a clean cut?
They said it was buried separately, quote unquote.
Oh, that's a little weird. Okay,
I feel like it was taken off.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be like buried, especially after only 18 months. It wouldn't be like truly buried.
And they said that she was a skeleton by then, but there was some like hair still sticking to like. Yeah. So I'm sure there was some flesh left.
Yeah. Like, kind of like if you looked at her from a distance, she might look a little bit like a mummy, maybe, but not enough.
No, she was like mostly skeleton.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit of leftovers.
Okay. So
maybe animals did eat.
I'm sure little like mice and chipmunks and stuff got in there, and
raccoons.
Like yeah, but cats, whatever, birds picking off parts of what clothes were on her to make nests.
Wow. Cats will
eat your eyes.
Yeah, in your nose.
Mm-hmm. The soft tissue is what they'll go for first.
Yeah.
There's a mortician who wrote the book Will My Cats Eat My Eyeballs? And it's all about like death and stuff like that. But she does cover like if you died in your home, what your cat would eat first.
Yeah, that's why they always sniff your face to see if you're still breathing.
Because you're like, look a little juicy.
Yeah.
Might just take a little nibble.
You haven't given me a can of tuna in a while.
You probably taste just like tuna. Except I don't. Wow, that was good. I like that. Don't. Man, who put Bella in the Wych Elm? I wonder if there's any movies. Because I think that would make a really good movie.
I think there are.
Probably none of them are good, though.
That's... When I looked up on Google, I was like, who put Bella in the Wych Elm? It was all this, like, books and movies and stuff. I'm like, no, I want to know the fucking story.
Right.
I also want to put my sources.
Yeah, this is a good story.
So I got the historypress.co.uk, and the part about the Forgotten Holocaust was from OpenSocietyFoundations.org.
Maybe we could cover
and
that
also
genocide at some point, like do episodes on that, because, I mean, genocide's still true crime.
Yeah, and it would also, I think that would be, it's definitely something that isn't talked about very often.
No, I mean, at least not in America.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very fascinating. I feel like if you made a movie about it, you could do all kinds of things, like play up all the spooky side of it, the supernatural, but then in reality, when, you know, there's the big reveal of what it really is at the end of a scary movie, you find out that it wasn't anything supernatural at all. And they speculate on what really happened to her. I want to know, is it maybe just folklore in that area now, and that's why people are tagging that wall over and over again? I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a fad now. It's something...
Like a Banksy type deal.
Yeah. It's like almost like how New Orleans is like the home of voodoo.
Yeah.
It's almost like a joke now. And
they're the home of the Wych Elm.
It's like a tourist attraction.
Yeah, I was going to ask if people like go to that tree.
I don't know if people go to the tree.
I wonder if the tree's even standing still.
But I know people go to the monument that was tagged. And I was surprised to know like spray paint was actually a thing in the 40s.
That's just like finding out that air conditioning is as old as it fucking is.
How old is it?
I'm pretty sure. Nobody say shit to me if I'm wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure it was like the late 1800s.
Air conditioning...
Origin?
Invention? Invented. Air conditioning was invented by Willis Carrier.
I was close!
In 1902. Right?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Precedes the 1902 invention. Where did it come from? What preceded it? Okay, so the actual air conditioner was invented in 1902. But apparently there were other ways to cool down a space with water that existed before then.
Mechanical cooling.
I was close.
Oh! John, he made the fridge.
Oh! Maybe that's what I was thinking of then. Refrigeration.
I'm actually not very surprised that refrigeration is as old as it is.
Because fucking am,
if you go to
man.
Hill Farm,
mm-hmm.
and, like, a couple of those houses, they have, like, fruit cellars, but they're not fruit cellars. Like, a stream goes under the house, which, like, cools things.
Cools
and there's, like, a
down.
door that you can get to get to that, like, cooler water. Which, I mean, it's not, like, as cold as we have now, but it's...
Right.
Colder.
I don't even actually know how we got there. Oh, you couldn't believe spray paint was a thing.
Yeah. I feel like we're just talking our ass right now. This is a short episode.
I feel like... I'm trying to extend it. No, I think it's fine. We have to make up for the, like, 2 hours worth of Jeffrey Dahmer they've had in the last week.
I know, yeah, I guess a short episode's better.
A little palate cleanser.
Yeah, a little tasteful.
I think it's a good one, though.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I like it.
It was fun.
I'm happy.
I learned a lot.
Sorry for, like, the 15 minutes of bullshit at the beginning of that. We were really going through some stuff at the beginning of this episode.
We haven't seen each other in a while either, so...
Yeah, this is long overdue. I have glitter all over my hands.
We're goofy. Okay, plugs.
Shit, what are they? Oh, we're on Instagram, at Crime in the Coconut. We're on Twitter, at CITC Podcast. Our Gmail is crimeinthecoconut@gmail.com. Tell us what you think, who you think put Bella in the Wych Elm. And if you are of the Romani people, please talk to us. Is that it? Oh, we're everywhere you can get podcasts, the end.
Also, I wanted to bring up, my cousin messaged me during the Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh my god, yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
She messaged me during the Jeffrey Dahmer episodes, and she was like, my friend's dad knew...
Let me see if I can play that, like, on the mic, if I can get it close enough.
Yeah, we can try it.
Anyway, keep talking. I'll pull it up. You keep talking.
We can just cut this out.
Okay. Anyway, people got cool stuff. Hold on. So Amanda's cousin messaged us and said, my friend's dad was almost done got by Jeffrey Dahmer. And I'm going to pull up the audio.
No, his dad's friend was the one that got by Jeffrey
That's
Dahmer.
Right. That's
his
right.
His dad almost did.
Almost got.
But his friend did got.
Yeah.
It was one of, like, the first victims.
That's Stephen Mark Hicks.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, hold on. I'm gonna try my best. We can pause it and then listen to it. And if it's not good, then we'll just cut it out.
Yeah.
My dad was best friends with Steve Hicks, and Steve wanted to go to a concert. My dad said no, because it was 3 a.m, and they were supposed to go to the concert the next day. So he was hitchhiking, and Jeffrey Dahmer picked him up, and then after that, they were going to go to the concert, so they went to the concert, smoked some weed, hung out. My dad went to the concert, and Steve was like, hey, this is my buddy, Jeff, and my dad met Jeffrey Dahmer. He's like, what's up? And then after that, Steve was like, do you want to go smoke weed? My dad was like, no, I just got here. And Jeffrey Dahmer and Steve went back to Jeffrey Dahmer's house, and that's when he killed him.
I hope that looked like it registered pretty well on there.
Yeah,
so I hope that sounds really good. But yeah, you got to it first and then I was like, I want to go read this. And I was like, oh,
I know.
Stop it. That's crazy.
Also, my cousin's friend, if you listen to this podcast and you want recognition or you want people to know, just let us know and we'll credit you. But I figured anonymous was better.
Yeah, we don't want to use your name unless you explicitly tell us, yeah, go ahead, use my name. Because we have no problem with that.
Yeah, but I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, it's a small world, and that's what I think is. I'm glad that like came about because you didn't even know that Dahmer was like from here,
yeah,
and that his first murder happened here. So my brother-in-law had a picture. I can't remember who he said it was. Somebody he knows went to prom with Dahmer, and he's got the picture of them like going to prom. I'll have to get him to send it to me. But yeah, it's a small world.
This is gonna sound selfish, but like if I had a picture of me and Dahmer at prom, I would auction it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, who wants this picture?
Absolutely. I don't want it, but I know I can make money off of it. Because there are people that, admittedly, John Wayne Gacy made paintings when he was in prison, and he made a painting of a skull, like a painted skull, and he called it, like, something Dahmer. Let me tell you what, when I saw that go up on auction for, like, $100, I almost bought it. Almost did.
Only $100? Really?
Yeah, it was like $100 or $125. Because he made so many paintings. Like, some of them are more expensive, but he made so many of them. There's all kinds that you can find. I don't know how we got to that. Oh, because you talked about the friend sending us that video. See, this is a long episode. What do you mean?
Yeah, you're gonna have to chop this up so much.
Nah, we'll just...
There's a lot of nonsense in between.
It's okay. Maybe they like the nonsense. Tell us if you like the nonsense at any of our plugs. Like I always say, if you listen to podcasts somewhere that our podcast is not, let me know, and I will make sure to get it there. Also, update, if you listen on iTunes, I'm really sorry that it doesn't usually upload until Monday. I don't know why that is, but it just doesn't, for some reason, doesn't show up till Monday. But it is always on Anchor and Spotify and like most of the other places immediately. So you can catch it there. Or just wait till Monday.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.